Hi there guys, Pete here from BoostedBogan with Steve, and we're in a lovely Model A Ford. I'll put up some photos now. Alright, tell us a little bit about it. This is almost a perfect restoration. It's absolutely fantastic in and out. What's the story?
It's a 1930 Model A Ford coupe, 5-window coupe. These are American body. They weren't available in Australia in 1930, and it was imported by a chap in the Blue Mountains a few years ago, and I bought it off him, and then gave it a full restoration, including a conversion to right-hand drive.
Yep.
And it's all been restored back to as close as original as possible, right down to the original colours scheme.
Yeah, okay. Did it take you long to get the conversion on?
No, because it's back then they were built to for all markets.
Yep.
I didn't have to drill anything at all because the chassis has, for example, has holes on both sides for the steering box on either side.
Yep.
All the steering components and the mechanical components are really a bolt-on. Take off the left-hand drive component and bolt in the right-hand drive component. So
yeah, wow.
There's not a lot of cutting as such as there would be a later model car.
Yeah, that's really unique to see, because with a lot of American cars, when you bring them over to Australia nowadays, getting them converted is a real nightmare.
Yeah.
Custom dash and interior.
Yes.
To have something like this be fully convertible, as in just straight up swap from one side to the other, is really impressive.
Yeah. As you notice, even the instruments in the centre. So yeah, it makes it fairly simple task compared to a later model car to convert to right-hand drive.
Yeah, I really do love the dash and interior. How often do you take this one out?
We get out every couple of months. We're members of the local club and also the Model A Ford Club. So we get out every 2 or 3 months with one of those clubs, and every couple of years they have the National Model A Rally.
Yep.
Next year's in Ballarat. So we've been to the last 4 or 5 of those, and we'll be going down to Ballarat next September.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so we get out fairly well. Yep.
Are there any unique features about this car that you really feel like the modern generation of cars has really lost?
Well, it's different to drive to a modern car because the gearbox has got no synchromesh, so you need your double clutch when you change gear. The engine is all manually operated, so you have to manually set the timing for the ignition, and you can manually adjust the mixture for the carburetor. Yep. So it's not like a modern car where you just turn it on and drive. You've got to understand what the engine's doing and adjust timing and mixtures and other matters to suit the driving conditions.
Yeah, of course.
Yep.
So that's really interesting, So without the electronics, you do have I suppose you could look at it as a double-edged sword, because you've got the negative in the fact that you do have that manual element, you have to watch a lot more, but at the same time, there's no electronics to go wrong. If something's playing up, you can probably stick a spanner under the hood and fix it in 10 minutes.
Well, that's the thing. If your modern car breaks down, you put it onto a flatbed. With this, and I always carry some tools and I carry spare carburetors and distributors and whatever. So most things, if it does have a issue on the road, you can do a roadside repair and get it going again, because it is so simple.
Yeah, that's pretty much the only roadside repair you can do with the modern cars now is change a flat wheel.
That's it.
Beyond that, there's really not a lot of chance that if something goes wrong, you can fix it half the time.
That's right.
Like you said yourself, chuck it on a flatbed.
Yeah, whereas this, quite often, if there is an issue, yes, you can fix it roadside. Or at the very least, get it back to a local workshop, and it is all repairable. Yeah.
So everyone loves the colour scheme on this, and you're saying before we can thank Henry Ford for that. Just how much on this car is actually different from factory?
Really, I've tried to restore it as close to original as possible. The only thing on this car that's not original is the indicators.
Yep.
In 1930, you used hand signals.
Yep.
But not many road users nowadays understand hand signals.
Hand signals, obviously, with the time.
So from a safety aspect, we've fitted indicators, but everything else, the interior, exterior colour scheme, and all the mechanicals, the finishes, it's all, even the upholstery trim is matching original colours and fabrics. So it's as close as I could get it to original factory, other than the indicators.
Yeah, well, I mean, I can understand adding indicators as a safety concern.
Yes.
Because there are no cars, and obviously the majority of road users now wouldn't have experienced in their entire life the idea of hand signals, even in media or movies.
No.
They're pretty much gone.
So to stick your hand out the right-hand side to indicate you're turning right, no one would know what you're doing.
Yeah.
And in fact, it's illegal to put your arm outside the window in a car nowadays. So there's another reason why it's just it's a major safety aspect to fit the indicators onto it.
Yep.
But other than that, it's pretty much exactly as it would have been out of the factory in 1930.
Do you have any future plans for the car? Do you intend to just keep it restored and just sort of keep it on the road and running to show?
Yeah. Just I enjoy many aspects of the old cars. I enjoy working on them, and because they are simple, you can restore things on them yourself, and it's quite enjoyable and rewarding.
Yep.
But then there's the driving, which is different to what a modern car is because of the mechanical simplicity of it. But then it's the social aspect. So we'll continue to mix with our friends as we go on car rallies and just enjoy the car for what it is.
Yeah, well, it's definitely a gorgeous car, and I could only imagine that it'll be a fantastic experience and such a unique. It would be very unique in the way you would drive a car like this. We're not talking electric steering. We're not talking hydraulic steering. We're not talking power steering. We're talking good old muscle.
Well, it's just everything's mechanical. As I said, everything from the double clutching of the transmission to the adjusting of the mixture and the timing. It's all manual, all simple.
Yeah, see, a lot of people don't have like the little things with these older cars is that a lot of people don't appreciate is that the large diameter sticker's just gone. Yeah, you're right. Sorry, I'll have to repeat that. So with the mechanical aspects, a lot of people don't understand why there's such large and thin tyre profiles. But could you imagine trying to turn a standard profile 235 wheel with any sort of car these days without power steering? It'd be hell.
Well, there's that aspect, but also these weren't built for 4-lane concrete highways. These were built for when the roads were principally dirt, and a lot of the time you were following carts and whatever on the country roads. So wide profile tyres didn't work on those sort of roads. You needed the narrow profiles to match the road conditions of the time. The large diameter, the high ground clearance was all to match the roads available at that time.
In the time that these sort of ran, could you imagine any features? Can you point out or think of any features that what are the unique features on this car, like the wheel design and the open wells? Where does that come into play? Why would that have been on these cars at the time?
They were built to match the road conditions. The roads obviously weren't paved as they are now. They were primarily built for horse-drawn transport, so the high clearance underneath, the narrow profile tyres, the larger wheels, the low gear ratios, the high sitting position, the high ground clearance under the mudguards. It was all to suit the rougher gravel undulating roads that were around at the time.
Yeah. No, it's really unique in that sense. So it's a fantastic example, and I wish you all the best with it. Thanks so much for your time.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Check us out on BoostedBogan, guys. See you around.